I met one of his old security guards, and I've been knew the tea about him. Weird shit, liking strap-ons.
So most of us Pac fans know you as the girl in most of his jail photos. It's safe to say that out of all of the women he was dealing with at the time, you were up at the prison the most. But you were at Puffy's birthday party in 1994 with Pac, right?
No, we met up there.
Oh, okay. You met him at the party.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay, take me through that entire night. Like, who was there? Who, where did you see anything weird?
Desiree Smith, Tupac's former girlfriend, recently opened up in an emotional interview and shared some shocking details about her time around Diddy, including one night at a birthday party and some disturbing stories she heard from people who personally knew him. What she revealed is jaw-dropping. She started off by talking about how most Tupac fans know her from the prison photos, where she's seen visiting him. But that's not all. Back in 1994, she ended up at Diddy's birthday party, and Tupac was there too. Although she didn't go with him, they met up at the party and hung out. It was still early in their relationship, so things were just starting to build between them. The party took place at the Roseland Ballroom. Desiree remembered exactly what she wore, a black spaghetti strap gown that fit her perfectly. She described the vibe as elegant, but still very hip-hop. All the big names from the culture were there. Mary J. Blige was spotted, and possibly Heavy D too. It was a star-studded night, but not in a way that felt exclusive. You could walk around freely, and even the VIP area wasn't closed off. Back then, celebrities were more accessible. You could see them at the mall, the club, or just out and about. It wasn't like today, but as the conversation got deeper, Desiree dropped some serious claims.
That night, I remember what I was wearing. I had on this really pretty dress. It was like a spaghetti strap, long tulle gown to my feet that just like accentuated the curves. It was black, and I went there. He told me he was going to wind up going. So like if I was going to go, we'd probably link up or whatever. So I was like, all right, I was going anyways before I knew he was going. But it was dope. It was everybody who you could think of at that time who was famous, but not as elaborate as his party started to get, with like really A-list. But this was hip hop. This was R&B. This was the culture at the time. They were all there. Everybody was dressed.
She said the recent headlines about Diddy involving illegal substances, abuse, and wild parties didn't surprise her at all. She wasn't shocked because she had already heard so many things over the years. According to her, these stories had been floating around for a long time. She mentioned meeting one of Diddy's former security guards who told her about strange things Diddy was into. Things like strap-ons and other bizarre behavior behind closed doors. One of the most disturbing parts of the conversation was about a woman from Canada. This woman, a photographer, had done a shoot for Diddy. They later vacationed together and became friends. But months later, she told Desiree something terrifying. Something happened to her at Diddy's house in the Hamptons. She had been partying with his security team and entourage and believed she had been drugged. She couldn't remember what happened that night. She just woke up, not knowing what had gone on. That wasn't the only story. She once told Desiree about walking into a bathroom at Diddy's house and seeing something she wasn't supposed to. She walked in and saw a man giving oral to Diddy. It wasn't a celebrity, it was someone behind the scenes, possibly an assistant or someone in media production. The woman was traumatized, and not long after, she was drugged. It sounds like a movie, but it was a real-life experience. Desiree said it's possible this woman was videotaped without her knowledge, maybe even for blackmail. She couldn't confirm it, but in that kind of environment, it wouldn't be surprising. After everything, the woman packed up, went back to Canada, and never looked back. When asked if she believed the rumors about Diddy's involvement in drugging women or more serious allegations of violence and abuse, Desiree didn't hesitate. She said yes. she believes those stories. She mentioned that the earliest claims she heard go all the way back to the early 90s.
Okay, so with all of the recent headlines about Puffy and all of the allegations of the drugging and the abuse and all the drugs that he's allegedly on, are you surprised by any of the headlines?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Oh, why, Desiree? Why?
Because I know a lot of people that know him. I met one of his old security guards, and I've been to the tea about him. Weird shit, liking strap-ons. I met this girl one time that did a photo shoot for him. It's a nice young lady from Canada.
Around 1991 or 1992. One woman even said she was drugged by Diddy and couldn't remember what happened to her either. These patterns are just too consistent to ignore. What made Desiree's words even more powerful was how calm and confident she was. She wasn't guessing. She was speaking from experience, from people who worked for Diddy, partied with him, and got caught up in that world. When you hear it from someone who lived through that era, it hits different. And then came the biggest question. What about Tupac? Did he suspect anything about Diddy's behavior? That's where it got intense. The tension between them is legendary. Many believe it went beyond rap beef, into jealousy, power, and maybe even betrayal. The interviewer brought up one of the darkest moments in hip-hop history, the night Tupac was gunned down in Las Vegas, 1996. There have been rumors for years that Diddy may have had something to do with it, not directly, but by allegedly paying a gang to do it. When Desiree was asked if she believed he was capable of that, she gave a straight answer, yes. Not because she knew for sure, but because she believes cowards pay others to do what they don't have the guts to do themselves. She said she hoped it wasn't true, but if it was, karma would catch up. Her words weren't filled with hate, just truth. She wasn't out to attack anyone. She was just connecting the dots. And she's not alone. A growing number of people are now speaking up, sharing similar stories about Diddy's secret life. From lawsuits to leaked videos to old bodyguards exposing secrets, it seems like the walls are closing in. The image of Diddy receiving intimate favors from a man may shock fans, but in Desiree's story, it wasn't about that act. It was about the secrecy, the control, the drugs, and the manipulation. She wasn't judging sexuality. She was calling out the abuse, the fear, and the silence. Diddy has always presented himself as a mogul, a leader, a trendsetter. But behind that success story may be a dark reality, a world of secrets, fear, and people too scared to speak. Until now, Desiree isn't the only one talking, but her voice carries weight. She was close to Tupac. She was in those rooms, and the people who talked to her had nothing to gain and everything to lose. That's what makes it real. As more lawsuits pile up and court cases move forward, the picture becomes clearer. This isn't just about parties or gossip. It's about real people being hurt, and an empire possibly built on pain, silence, and fear. Desiree didn't come out to be famous. She didn't drop names to go viral. She told her truth. And that truth just added another brick to the wall surrounding Diddy's empire. The rumors have now become testimonies, and if even half of what she said is true, then Diddy's fall may be closer than anyone expected.